Okay, so I'm going to give it a minute and see if anybody joins me or not. I wasn't able to make it last week, so hopefully some people are able to join me. That'd be great. If not, then we will continue through and see how it goes. Hello, hello, hello. Waiting on the memberships to come into the room. If you are a member, please say hello. If you're not a member, this will not pertain to you. So we're going to give it a minute and find out. So I'll wait it out like 5 minutes and we'll see. We'll see if anybody comes in. If not, then it's because I haven't got my new video out. Speaking of the new video, we are at the heart chakra. We are at the middle self at this point. So moving from the child self into the middle self is where we're going into, and learning how to run our chakra energy. Next week is going to be a lot better for me. I've got a couple of healings lined out for myself. Working on my solar plexus because there's something going on that I can't get out on my own. So that is coming up. But this month has just been a really slow month for the membership as far as getting videos out and things like that. I've had a lot come up all of a sudden. So I'll give it a few minutes and wait for the members and see if they're going to show today or not. So I didn't send out the notice, so we'll just see. Who's in the room now? Might I ask? So are you a member? Because you can never tell, you know. I don't think so. So here's what happens on this channel. On Fridays, I come in here and I talk with the people who are on the membership, and we go over the videos and things like that of learnings, and that's about what we do. So we got a minute and a half left of waiting time, and then if nobody comes in, there will not be a topic today. So that's how this kind of goes. You know, you sit here and wiggle your thumbs for a while, you know what I'm saying? So I'll just wait for another second, and if they're not in, then there will be no Friday topic. A lot of people are working today, so I did get a few people saying they weren't coming, but I didn't get out the notice that I would be coming on. So, but I do come in here every Friday at noon. Jill, hi, girl. So you're the one who's in the room, Jill? Nobody else showed up yet. I mean, they could. We didn't do anything this week because I'm getting a healing done on me. That's actually a quite intense one, and it knocks me out of balance a little bit. So until I get that chakra fixed, and get that thing out of it, and it's like moving my energy has been a little on the difficult side. My psyche's pretty on, but you know, when you're like clearing things out and you're going down the onion, like peeling things off like an onion is what's been happening. Nancy, it's good to see you. And I got this thing like caught right here. right here in my solar plexus, right there, and I can't get it moved. So I've got my ladies on it. So it's been moving out. It's going slow, but it's moving out. It's just something that's like really old, something that's been there for a long time from an old spiritual tis that happened about 5 years ago. And I just can't get it out on my own. So I've got a little help with that. How have you guys been doing? You know, Jill, how sometimes you gotta have a little help getting something unstuck. So so that's, you know, that's where it's at. It's like every time I go to do the membership video, my brain goes blank. I'm going, are you kidding me? Is it this big? And then when I went to the healer, I don't trust very many healers. I go to very, very few. I went to the healers, and they looked at it and they said, Allie, you got a hole, like a big gaping hole that's got to be healed up in your solar plexus. And I was like, yeah, it's in the child self. And they said, oh yeah, it is. And so they're working on me. My next appointment's on Wednesday. So I want to apologize for not getting out the meditation videos and stuff like that, but it's been a little bit of a challenge because it's painful. It feels like an electrical rod went right through my solar plexus when I pulled an aspect of my inner child back to myself. And I couldn't even hardly breathe. I was like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. But my inner child's doing good now. So, you know, it's like it's moving out. But it was just something from a long time ago. And my energy finally got unstuck. And my energy came back with this thing stabbing through my solar plexus, through my spine. And I was going, okay, that's the pain I've been feeling. So, you know, it's like, okay, and that one's mine. That's my wound. And I knew what it was from. But if I had, you know, a client come through and say, hey, Allie, I got something going on. My stomach's hurting. I check it out. If I saw something like this, I would make them come in for an appointment. I'd make them come in for an appointment so that I could do the proper workings on them. But hence it's mine. It's a little harder for me to get out, you know? Right, Nancy? Sometimes you got to have a little help getting some things off. So the thing is throughout this period of time where this ascension, we're in an ascension, we'll have a spiritual topic about the energy shifts going on right now. Like, Jill will understand this because I helped pull Jill, or actually I did pull Jill out of a 3D dimensional zone. Yeah. Yeah. And so so Jill kind of understands this, where if your energy, say somebody does like black magic on you and it's really bad. Okay. You got away from that person. You got away from that energy. But the spell was still there. All right. I had broke up with a man 5 years ago. 5 years ago, who wanted to marry me. And I'll just tell you, you know, how this came to be, and who wanted to marry me. But I found out that he was into some dark occult stuff, and I dumped him, and I got away from him. Well, he didn't like it. So he didn't want me to be with anybody else. So he created some really big issues for me about 5 years ago. I had cut loose from the energy. But when I was working on my inner child and I was doing the picture and everything, I kept having a hard time with certain parts of the picture and I couldn't figure out why. And so I went clear to the fetus. And I was like, what's going on here? And so I really, really looked, and I really, really looked, and I pulled my energy to me, and I was fluffing it up, I was healing it out, you name it. And then suddenly it felt like a lightning rod hit me right in the solar plexus. And I was like, oh my God, what is that? And literally my body felt like I had been hit by a lightning rod. And I went, what is that? I mean, it was like electricity jolting right through my body. And I'm going, oh my God, what is that? And I remembered, you know, something had hit me like years ago. And I was like, okay, well, I can clean it off. And I'm thinking, yeah, this should be easy. It's old. I can get rid of this. So, you know, I go into my white light candle mode. I go into, you know, calling my angels and everything like that. And I get this hand on my shoulder, and it was warm. And it was Michael. And he said, you have to have help getting this healed. There's no way you're going to get rid of this on your own. Yeah. And so thank you so much for that, Jill. So, you know, Michael's like, I'll go hunt down the right person. And I was like, okay. And so for like a week, I'm checking out people and checking them out. And I finally find this one, but she's in Peru. And I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with anybody in Peru. And so I talked to this lady and who was from Peru because Michael told me to. And she directed me to somebody outside of Peru who was actually in the States. And so I went, okay. So I contacted her and she said that she had to work with me with another healer to get this, whatever it was, going. And I was like, okay, so we're working on it. Whatever it is, we are working on it. But I've had my first session and it went really, really good. Things were healing up, things like that, until my inner child seen him. And then she kind of did a little bit of a freak out, and it's been comfort. It's okay. You know, it's good. This too shall pass. And healing up her belly area. So, you know, I've seen a lot of different types of magic in my lifetime where there's had to be some mass clearing work done, massive healing work done for people. Literally taking their soul essences from different things that happened to them throughout their lifetime and pulling them directly into the proper timeline, into their body, into the right now, so that they can actually function properly. Well, this was a huge part of me. You know, this hit clear down to my fetus core. So this is like my beginning energy here. And I'm going, I've been hit. But it wasn't recent because my shields are really, really good for the time of now. But sometimes it takes a couple sessions to really clear it out. But I got 2 ladies working on me. And they're actually doing a really good job. They're doing a really good job, you guys. I was shocked when I saw what I saw. I was like, yeah, I was right to dump this dude. I knew it. You know, it's like every fiber in my being had gone off within a 2-week period after dating this guy for a long time. But he was an internet date. He was an internet date. So this is why I don't date online. And that's why when the marriage card came up the other day, Nancy, I was like, I don't think I want an ex-back. I don't think I want one of those. But, you know, we'll see what comes in for the future. And so it was like, I was just kind of like, oh my gosh. And that card, when it popped out, I went, no, not yet. I'm not ready. And I was reassured that I'm well on my way to actually meeting somebody who's worth my time. So I'm very happy about that. But yeah, sometimes you got to have, even when you become a master healer and a master teacher, working on yourself is a little more difficult at times. And so, you know, I believe in having trustworthy healers around. And so I was really, really grateful to find these 2 because they're unique. They're unique. And it takes somebody who's really, really strong to work with me. Somebody who's really far into their light to be able to work with me, because I highly sensitive to energy. And so if their energy's like a lower vibration than mine, then I end up getting hurt. And I end up empathically taking on that stuff. This is what I've learned over time. But if I go with somebody who's in a higher vibration or at the same vibrational length as me, on a soul level, then I do fine. Then I do just fine with them. And these ladies are right up there with me. So it's like, oh wow, I really like working with these two ladies. It's very awesome. Very awesome. So I want to say thank you guys for being so patient with this. It was unexpected, like unexpected, because I have done everything right. But apparently my inner child's like, no, take extra care of me right now, and she's hurt. So heal that up. But yeah, when you get rid of people that aren't for your highest good, sometimes they don't like to let go easily, especially if they think you're dating somebody else. So that was the situation at hand. And I'm finally at that core layer, which I am. I'm at the core layer. The core issue is right there, and it's being pulled out. It's being moved out, disconnected, you name it. But it does take a couple times when it was that emotional. And it was a really emotional situation for me, because I felt like my kids were in danger. And so it touched home with me. And then I went through a period of time where it was like, I'm just going to work on me. I'm just going to heal me. I'm not going to date. I'm just going to be really careful. I'll wait until my kids are totally adults and then I'll date. Well, they're all adults now. They're all adults now. They're all doing very, very well. My son Ken just landed a job. He's 23. He just landed a job for $20 per an hour. So he is skyrocketing, happy, happy, happy energy. My daughter just graduated out her first session of, she's got her CNA. So that's the graduation she just had, and she'll start school back up again come next fall because she's going to be a doctor. But when you're in nursing, you go from one step to the next. And then my oldest son, Colton, so you know a little bit about me. My oldest son, Colton, he's had a really, really good job for a while now, where he's learning construction. He's doing what do you call it? He's a framer. So my oldest son is a framer. My middle son, or my second child, Ken, my baby son, he is breaking rocks to make gravel, and they pay really, really good. I mean, it's hard work, but it does really good. And my daughter, she works at a, she's looking for a job at the hospital. She graduated top in her class. Well, second. I got to be honest. She was second in her class in college. So, I'm really, really proud of her. She missed 8 on her entire test of over, I think it was like over 150 questions or something like that. She missed 8. So, and they were common sense questions. They were common sense questions. They weren't in the book. So she missed those, and she still landed with like a B plus, A minus right in there. And so I was really, really proud of her. Really, really proud of her. This spring, I am going traveling from the Oregon coast to New York City on the coastal line in an RV, and I'll be doing my shows and stuff like that through there. So I'm thinking, about the time where I go traveling and stuff like that, it might be a little bit time to get a hot little honey. But until then, I don't know if I want one yet. I wouldn't mind having one traveling with me. Maybe. See what happens in between now and then, right? So, I've got 3 awesome kids. And when a radar goes off that you're dating somebody and you find out, the hard way that they're using dark forces or something like that, and everything's like a show, you go into protective mama mode. And I went into protective mama mode. And I stayed there until my kids were ready for me not to be so protective mama mode. And so now that you have 6 kids. Oh my gosh, Nancy. 6? Really? I've got half of that. And I swore after the 3rd one, I was never going through labor again. 6. Congratulations. How do you do it? Like, that's super mom material there. You got 3 kids, right, Jill? They are awesome. I love my kids. They're like my best friends. Those are my everything. I mean, I love my career. I love all that. I do. I love doing the YouTube stuff. I love doing the membership. This month I've been questioning, do I need to continue the membership or quit? And I heard, no, just get through this and you're going to quit feeling like that. Then you'll be able to, go forward and everything will be just fine. Just, they're going to understand. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, but I am worried about it. I'm not keeping up the car. And I just hear, you know what, punch through it. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Yes, I agree with the healers. They have to be light vibe. Yeah, many readers couldn't help me because they weren't tuned into the highest vibration. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When you're in ascension, and ascensions could be you coming out of binds from the past. Really, they really, really can. Because it's like being reborn, but your energy's got to be clean. That's what I found. When you're working with a healer and their vibration's not that high, your energy comes back to you dirty. And then you feel all gooky, all yucky, and you feel like, just nasty, and you're in memory lane of everything that happened. But when you got a healer that's in a higher vibration and they're connected into the light, they take the time to carefully cleanse that energy off, dismiss it, send it to the proper realm, and undo that energy, undo that magic, undo that negative. So I was glad I was able to do that with you, Jill. Now it's my turn. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's like, yay! Finally, somebody who's strong enough to clear me. I love it. I'm like, finally. That I prayed for it for a long time. I actually did. It's really hard for me to find an energy worker who can work on me. Really, really hard, because if they're not up there high enough, it goes the other way. It goes the other way, and I'm really careful about who works on me. Your youngest daughter is 30 tomorrow. Wow, Jill. Congratulations on that. My oldest child is 26. My youngest child is 18. So, what's 26? No, he's 25. He's not 26 until the 4th of January. Don't tell him I said that. He's not 26 yet. He will be this year. So, yeah. Like, I haven't even been doing my coloring. It's been like, okay, let's heal it. Let's heal. So, 30 years old is your youngest. How old is your oldest? If you don't mind me asking. I kind of like spending a little bit of time getting to know everybody a little bit better. It's nice. It's really nice to know who I'm working with all the time. Nancy's go 20, 19, 16, 14, 12, and 9. How many boys, how many girls? Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine popping out that many. I couldn't imagine. Some people love being pregnant. I was not one of those that loved being, well, I loved being pregnant. I didn't like the labor. And my last pregnancy, I was on bed rest a lot. She came out sunny side up, and they literally had to bust my pelvic to get her out. So it was like they should have gone C-section with her, and they didn't. They didn't. Caused some issues for a while, but I healed up from it. Clearly, we are supporting you. Take your time. Thank you so much. I actually really do appreciate you guys. Like, this week, it's just been ever since, like, I'm healing my inner child out from trauma, from the trauma. And there was some things that happened there. When you go through, I'll never touch ayahuasca again. I won't touch it. I won't go near anybody who does it. Yeah. Last week was difficult. Mine is more on just clearing out old stuff. Like, I came to a spot where there was a mass amount of it. 42 son and 40 son. Oh my gosh. And a 30-year-old daughter. 30-year-old daughter. Wow. Wow. Do you remember when your babies were born? Do you remember how beautiful they were? Like, I remember my first son coming out, and he came out with cone head, and my sister said, "Oh my gosh, he's so beautiful." And I looked at him, and I was 16. I looked at him and I thought, what am I going to do with you? It was the first thought I had. What am I going to do with you? You know, I'm holding this baby who totally changed my life. Because I was in foster care when I had my son. I was in foster care, and he changed my life. He changed everything. He changed everything. When my middle son came out, he had to have heart surgery. He had a really weak pulse, and I was very afraid of him dying. He had heart surgery at like 3 months old, and then my daughter, when she came out, that was a big scare too. And so after that, it was like, you know what, I'm going to go get fixed. I couldn't lose a baby. I mean, I had 2 really close calls of losing a baby. If we did not have the technology and the medical know-how these days, like if it would have been in the 50s or under, I would have lost those babies. I would have lost those babies. With my daughter, I could have died. So I'm really grateful, you know, for the technology and the medical knowledge we have these days, because I have 3 beautiful children because of it. Because of it. Last pregnancy was difficult. Yeah, Nancy, you should stop popping kids out unless you're going for 7. Lucky number 7? Is there going to be a lucky number? Well, let's find out. Is there going to be a lucky number 7? I don't know. Flow of prosperity, it could happen. It could happen. You're done. I would focus on the money to support all 6 of those kids right now. My gosh. So many try to, I can't see that. Okay, so many try to ascension awareness with that crap. You got to do the work. Oh yeah, you got to do a ton of work. A ton of work. You know, and I went through, it's all about you now. Wow. Wow. Sometimes it has to be. Sometimes it has to be. You know, if you don't love yourself, your children don't love themselves. Have you noticed that? If you don't love yourself, your kids don't love themselves. They learn from us. When I started loving myself, my kids started loving themselves because I had a happy mom. So happiness is a definite, absolute. You know, you got 9 years left there, Dan, or how many? 7 until they're 18. So you can figure, no, you got 9 more years until 18. Then you got to figure, you know, they stay in the house, you know, a year to 2 years after. I have a 23-year-old son who's hooked to my hip still today. Still today is totally hooked to my hip. He calls me for everything, you know. My daughter's a little more independent. My oldest son, he's very independent. I went through that, Jill. I went through that. I did. And, you know, and that's why I'm healing up right now. You know, most of my trauma and abuse that I'm healing up from right now is from men. It's from men. And so that's why I'm not dating, because I need to heal before I go into having a relationship. That's what I got to heal. And that's okay. You know, I'm ready to heal it. I'm ready to heal it. I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready to forgive it, release it, let it go, and become. You know, that's where I'm at with this. I had a full hysterectomy at the age of 24. So I was blessed with 3 children. I started young, blessed with 3 children before I had to have a full hysterectomy at 24 years old. And then I went through menopause. At like 24, it lasted until I was about 38, the menopause. Could you imagine being around me in menopause? Oh my gosh. But look, I got it done. I got it over with. Now I don't have to have it again. So, when I come into like the chat room or something like that, and somebody's got going through menopause and they're having heat flashes, I can feel it through the chat. I can literally feel those heat flashes going off, and it's like, Jesus, who's in menopause? I know it's not me. Because I've already had it. I've already had it. Yeah, I'm lucky I didn't like burst out in hair all over my body after that hysterectomy. Some women do. I was grateful I didn't. Now I got a little tiny bit of a mustache, but it's not bad. It actually, I don't have to do anything with it. So it's not like horrible. But I've seen women after having full board hysterectomies, they just get a mustache, some get a beard. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful that never happened. It was so grateful. I wouldn't be on YouTube if it did. So yeah. But thank God I did get on YouTube, because that's how I met you guys, right? So I'm grateful for that. Wow, we all have beautiful children. So what is going on for your guys' weekend? I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Nancy, are you going on that drive? Like, I really feel like you guys should. I really do. Go out for a really nice dinner. Go out for a really nice dinner. Maybe do some dancing. Dancing would be good. I'm just waiting for Nancy's response here. Told him, laugh out loud. Okay, well, we'll see what happens then. Hopefully he'll do it. Hopefully you guys can go. Maybe one of the older kids can watch the younger kids. And you can go out for a few hours, it's necessary. You got to cut loose, you got to cut loose from time to time. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get ready for my 1 o'clock appointment. I kind of want to eat really quick before then. And I've really enjoyed spending this time with you. Thank you for coming in here and sitting with me and listening to my reason of why I'm not getting my work done. Like, I'm behind on all my video schedule, because it's like the waiting period on this healing here. Man on pause. Oh no, I'll be going out on a manhunt soon. Because I do want to have somebody taken off with me in the spring. But I want that first month of travel for me. So we'll see what happens. We'll just see what happens. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I might see you guys on Zodiac Biz this evening, but I probably won't get a video out this weekend as far as the classes and stuff. So, oh, it's okay. We just sat chitter chattered, had a girl moment, had an awesome girl moment going on. You didn't miss out. You did. You know what? I haven't done my tree yet. I got this going on though. I got this going on. I got these bling bling, but I haven't done my tree yet. It's like I got this decorated, and since this is what I look at all the time, I didn't even think about the tree, because I'm not going shopping. This is serious business here. I am not going to pick up those Christmas presents until like a day or 2 days before Christmas. I'm not going to pick them up. They can stay at the layaway. They can stay at the layaway, because I have children who peak, and they're adults and they peak. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine having children who are 18 and above peeking at their Christmas presents. So yeah, I gotta wait. I gotta wait and not gotta wait and not do that. You know, I'm really, really glad you came in, Luis. It's very good to see you. I'm glad you made it. My position here. But yeah, Christmas, you know, it's one of those things around here. You just don't bring any presents around until it's time. Till it's time. Now, there is a spot where I do hide my Christmas presents, the ones that I have picked up, and I'm hoping that nobody finds them. They're out in the barn in the trap door underneath the barn. So I'm praying to God that they do not get muddy. Praying they don't. I have to check on them all the time. But yeah, I got them stashed. You know, and I've seen my kids walking around looking to see if I've got anything stashed anywhere. My boys, they literally do these things. So I was telling the ladies, Luis, why we have not had any new uploads. And so if you want to go back and watch the video on that, you can. But it's going to take me a little healing time, a little bit of healing time. I've got healers on it, but I've got to have my healing happening here because there was something in my solar plexus I couldn't get out on my own, and it's actually kind of painful. But the whole video will explain the whole thing, and then everybody will understand. So that's good. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off. I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Oh, wow. And hopefully, you know, this summer you guys can join me at the retreat. We're going to have it on the coast. And we're going to have 1 week of nothing but beautiful spiritual time and making spiritual items. I do it every year. Last year's group was only 3 people, but it was a time to remember forever. Time to remember forever. I'm not sure which month we're doing it. I want it to be nice and warm. We will be on the coastline, and we will be staying at like a cottage house. So you won't have to sleep outside. You can have your morning coffee, and you will have your own beds. But it is going to be in the forestry area, most likely in Oregon, right at the Oregon and the California coastline. That's where I like to do these, unless I find something else. I have a spot right there by Crescent City that I like to go to. And of course, you know, they have a casino. They have a casino just a few miles down the road. And you know, I like to hit the button, right? So we will have an out night, a couple of out nights, and we do go snorkeling. I like to snorkel, so you'll have little goggles and a little snorkeler thingy so you can snorkel. We can look at all the pretty little underwater flowers and things like that, see some fish, stuff like that. I'm not sure if we're going to do it in Oregon this year or if I'm actually going to be aiming for Florida. So I want to drive the coastal line a little bit and check and see if we're going to aim for Florida or if we're going to aim for Oregon this year. I'm not sure just yet, but usually I do it in July or August. So, you know, it is in the busier time, but I do get very private locations where we can do spiritual workings and learn how to make medicine wheels, get into like making our own musical instruments, making fairy feeders, little magical items from the closet, you know, things like that. It's very, very cool. It's very, very fun. And it's just a wonderful, beautiful, very feminine soul retreat type thing where you can really get into you and the fun aspects of you. So I'm hoping that all of you will be joining me this year for that. I haven't found out what it costs for the what do you call it, the little bungalows, the little cottages, or which cottage it will be at. But I'll find all that out soon. And once I do, I'll let you know. I'll let you know because it's all the product and everything like that's got to be paid out. But it is a blast and it's worth the time. Totally worth the time. So it gets you, away from everything for a week. So that's going to be good. Anyways, I love you. And I'm going to go ahead and get off, you guys. I got an appointment in like 10 minutes, around 10 minutes. So blessings, hugs, loves, and big joys. Bye-bye.